far.
This is tripping me out, the fact I can only hear through one ear.
Yeah, so can I, which is not normal.
Maybe try it in the other port. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a bit better.
See, I thought that might be in the wrong spot. Why is that? Yeah, because it says right ear, left ear. That makes sense.
Mine was on my left ear, though.
So was mine. Actually. Maybe that cuts out the right ear. I don't know.
Oh, who knows, mate?
You're right. Mine was my left ear as well.
I have
I don't know if they're saying anything, though. No? Nothing? Oh, we're good to go.
Yeah, not our fault.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to some round 12 action. Big V state champ women. We've got McKinnon Cougars taking on Warrandyte Venom. McKinnon coming off a win last night, 10 points against Sunbury. Warrandyte, only a single header for them this week. They're 8th on the ladder, 3-11. Somewhat fighting relegation. Cooper, I'm here with you today.
Hello.
What are your thoughts on the game?
Look, it'll be interesting. Obviously, I've seen McKinnon play at Sherbrooke, where I commentate typically. I haven't seen the Warrandyte team, so it'll be interesting to see. The stats say one thing, but we'll see if Warrandyte can go against the flow.
Yeah, they've got some inclusions. Zoe Jenkins coming into the side, who is an NBL 1 player. Used to play at Ringwood for the NBL 1, Knox Raiders Junior. She's only played one game last week, or maybe two with the doubleheader, but that will be a big inclusion for Warrandyte if she can bring some firepower to their lineup.
Absolutely.
Same starting lineup for McKinnon as last night. Alicia Lewis, Meg Cooper, Annabelle Fitter, Tamara Gear, Emily Lytle. Warrandyte just coming out onto the court. They've got Whitehouse, Locke, Feehan, Hewen and Jenkins starting. So their same lineup as last week. Emily Lytle looks like she's taking a jump. Massive game for her last night. 36 points and 12 rebounds. She had an absolute night.
That is a field day, that.
We spoke last night, me and Daniel on the commentary, about where their scoring was going to come from. Emily Suckling, their second scorer, out with a wrist arm injury. Daisy Noosa's third scorer, out for the season with an ACL. So Emily Lytle took the load and just said, don't worry, I'll take it.
Didn't really have a choice, eh? It sounds like Giannis at Milwaukee, he's got no help.
It does. It'll be interesting to see today if Lytle can do the same thing, or if she gets some help from players like Fitter. What a start for her. Interesting to see today, Emily Lytle, obviously their main scorer, as we said last night, had a massive game. if they can get some other people involved on the offensive end, I think this could be put away pretty quickly for their standard. But as we said, we don't know what Warrandyte are going to come out like. But Meg Cooper in the corner. 2 threes in the first minute for McKinnon. And that's one thing that they have been dominant at all year. Their three-point makes are insane. Shooters everywhere on the court.
Can't be much worse than last night if you're Warrandyte.
No.
For the Sherbrooke game anyway, but that's all right.
Good D from Cooper. Stepped out of bounds, unfortunate. Emily Suckling, who's not playing today, is the lead leaguer in three-pointers made.
The lead leaguer?
League leader.
There you go, that's a bit better.
That is better. I always get that one a bit tongue-tied. But it just shows how much depth they've got beyond the arc with their shooters, because literally everyone
She's wide open.
Shoot the rock, and there's Lytle starting off her campaign for the day.
Wide open. Warrandyte struggling with the swap on the defence there. They can't let that happen too often if they want to stand a chance this afternoon.
Yeah, I think the defensive end for Warrandyte is going to be their main issue so far in the first 2 minutes. We've seen that. Offensively, good start there. Kewen gets it to go.
Warrandyte off the duck, although the scoreboard says otherwise. The operators pressed the wrong button, but that's against the point.
Lewis, 2 points downhill. She's hard to stop when she gets going as well. Kewen, leading scorer for Warrandyte this year, only with 11.2 points per game.
This might be a few struggles from either end for the Venom this afternoon. Pulls down an offensive board, it's good.
And one, and there she is, Kewen again, on cue. That was a good one.
Well done, Ryan. That was good, mate.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Warrandyte only averaging 53.5 points a game as a team, which is 9th ranked, second last in the league.
Well, you think about it, Emily Lytle scored 3/4 of the team's average points last night herself.
Yeah, she. Emily Lytle's just on a different planet. we can't really compare her to people at the moment, because she's come into this league this year for the first time and proved that she is dominant.
Probably a bit too good for it at times, but
yeah, I'd give her I reckon she'd have good odds for the MVP race this year.
Yeah, you'd think so.
At the moment, see how she finishes the year though.
You can only play against who shows up, but
Tamara Gear running the floor. Lytle, that's probably going to fall short. Spoke too soon. I was going to go for it, but I pulled myself out.
Geez, Kewen over the top, dangerous again. Gear cut it off, but McKinnon going to have to look out for her on the offense at least anyway.
Yeah, that's one thing that the McKinnon side have struggled with a bit this year is their transition defense. As you would know against your Sherbrooke women's side, they got torched on the defensive transition side of things. Still got the win over them.
I was going to say they still made it look pretty easy.
But yeah, a lot of points that game was coming from the fast break for Sherbrooke. So that's one thing that McKinnon do need to improve on come finals time. But it seems to be working anyway. 9-5 or 10-5 now after last night's win.
How long have we got? A month till finals?
Yeah, round 12. I think we've got 6 weeks left, I think, until finals.
For the championship grades.
For the championship grades, yes. 3 falls short from Whitehouse. Gear, strong rebound.
Tipped away. Fian picks it up for the Venom. Her pass.
Not on the same page there. 3-on-1. Easy pass, easy layup. Gear gets on the board for 2.
I think your main difference early on in this match, the 3-point percentage. McKinnon 2 for 3 behind the arc. Warrandyte yet to make one. As we speak, that one's short again.
That would have been good on cue.
Yeah, it would have been, eh? Reverse commentator's curse.
Absolutely. We said at the start of the game we were interested to see where their scoring was going to come from McKinnon. Every single player on the court has got a bucket already in this game, so they're doing well.
That was very deep.
Was a deep 3. She can shoot the absolute mickey out of it, Meg Cooper. But that was probably a little bit too eager. One of McKinnon Cougars under-18 juniors, Vic Country player.
Choice.
She's got a promising future ahead wherever she goes. Whitehouse drives.
Own
And the own
Good
ball.
hustle. Oh, geez, it did everything except go in.
That was that hurts. That hurts as a player watching that just rim out. And errant pass from Lytle, not on the same page with Fitter. First subs of the game, Simmons and Keane coming in for Cooper and Lytle.
Jeez, I'll tell you what.
Gets an early breather.
Someone who's not here that often, that siren or alarm for the subs is bloody loud.
Loud?
Yep.
Oh, I guess I got used to it, don't I?
Should I say ear piercing? It's a different noise.
Yeah, yep. That's a great thing. Oh, Fitter just read that like a children's novel. She should get an easy 2 here, and does.
Be interesting to see how the Venom can kind of try and stop the flow here. They've really struggled. Only 5 points in the first half of this first term. As we're speaking, Fian almost loses it, picks it back up. It's been a foul called. So Fian will go to the line, shoot the first set of free throws of the afternoon.
Fian is a 50% free throw shooter.
Jeez, that's
So if that's something to go off,
she'll make
we're
one of two.
we're going 1 of 2 here. This one's going to go in then. This one's going to go in, according to the stats.
Stats live.
Yeah, well,
There you
okay.
go.
Well, they're not always right, are they?
Well, if anything, it shows
She'll
that
go 2 from 2 next time. That's what's going to happen now.
Michaela Kewen needs a little bit of help on the offensive side for Warrandyte. She's still the only player to score.
Lewis just right off the ring. Whitehouse, good rebound. Just struggling just to get it up the court into a set, the Venom at the moment. And Fian chucks that one up and in for her first points of the day.
Well, there we go. She's had a couple of back-to-back impacts on the offensive end. We'll see if she can help out on the Warrandyte offensive. Whitehouse done very well there.
Great read there. 2-on-2 fast break. Tries to power her way through. Hands it off. Kewen again on the O glass. Can't finish though. Fian as well on the glass. Kewen on the glass. Wowee.
So they had a few bites at the cherry there.
Lots of O boards there. Nathan Gear, Coach McKinnon would not be happy with that. They've got 5 offensive rebounds already. Warrandyte Venom.
Yeah, that's not a good stat to look at for McKinnon early on.
And here comes young Romy Price checking in for Tamara Gear.
Still plenty of basketball to be played, but so a lot can happen.
Kewen knocks down the first. Kewen, a 51% free throw shooter. So there you go, 2 from 2.
She's going to make way now.
She'll get a breather, yes. In comes Leah Swain to match up on Romy Price.
She looks to be a real force, possibly on the rebounds and underneath the ring.
Well, they're missing Durant today, who's their leading rebounder, 13.7 rebounds a game.
Might need Swain to step up. She didn't grab it cleanly there, but took it right from underneath Romy Price.
And that's
Great
too
pass.
easy, but Natalie Keane misses the bunny. Romy Price, strong rebound.
There it is on cue. Or should I say on Kewen?
Well, it wasn't Kewen that time technically, so she's on the bench as well.
She came on for Kewen, there you go.
She did come on for Kewen. There's Alicia Lewis just getting her hand in there everywhere. She's averaging over 3 steals a game this year. Lead leaguer. Oh my gosh,
but you've done it again. League leader. There you go, that's what you're looking for.
Leader she is. Wowee. That is it. That is a tongue twister, isn't it? Unexpected tongue twister. But yeah, she causes some absolute chaos down on that defensive end. Jenkins chucks it up just long. I know for a fact she can shoot the rock.
That was her first attempt, that one, I believe. Possibly second.
Price on her left hand, kicks it out. Another just errant pass. That's McKinnon's 5th turnover for the game already. They average 13.8 a game. They're the second best team in the league at looking after the ball, so that's probably not what Nathan Gear's wanting early on, but...
You wouldn't think so?
No. Scoreboard, honestly, for what it's looking like, Warrandyte are doing quite well to keep in touch at the moment. They haven't really got going offensively yet, but they've kept McKinnon to 14 points, which in a game like this is actually quite a good standard for the moment.
For the time being, yeah, they've sort of matched them. It's almost like Caviar round in the bend in McKinnon, but she's being held off by a leader. So
yeah,
it's almost like I said before, there's still a lot of basketball to be played. So
yeah, we got just over 3 minutes left in the first term, and looking at the scoring, as we said, just unsure where the scoring was going to come from. Annabelle Fitter's got 5 points. That's a leader, and Kewen for Warrandyte has got 7, which is a great start for her and for Warrandyte. But she's on the bench having a breather. I'd assume, not sure how Coach Paul O'Brien does his subs, but I assume she will be getting back on the court relatively quickly.
She looks like the hot hand for the Venom, doesn't she? 50% from the field. Good return to start off with, especially.
And she's on cue, back in the game.
There you go. Jeez, we're going to use that way too many times,
yeah,
aren't we?
we will. Well, to be honest, it just works well. So
it's kind of set up.
Not my fault. Not our fault.
It's like an open layup.
It is. It is. It's there for the taking.
Correct.
Looks like Lytle's checked back in, and Bran Catasano for the Cougars. Jenkins. Copped the bowl and screen there, Bran Catasano. A little bit of a mismatch down low. They couldn't get it to Swain.
Oh, geez. Eleanor Boland's just checked in. That's not a bad first offensive play when you check in.
Yeah, take that 15 seconds into your campaign for the game.
Absolutely.
Boland's 70% free throw shooter. So this more likely to go in than miss. And it goes in.
Jeez, I was going to say, if that missed, you had put the absolute moz on then, but...
No, that doesn't happen here. Lots of woodwork around to touch, so touch wood that we don't have commentators' curses today. Venom looking like they're dropped into a bit of a zone here, which leaves Keane open in the corner. We know she can shoot. Can't drop that one, though. Kewen on the break, throws it ahead to Matthews. And they finally get it into Swain, who was asking for it all of the last possession. Gets the foul call. She'll go to the line for 2.
Warrandyte have flown out of the blocks after this timeout. They looked real good on that defensive play.
They've come out well. This will be their 7th and 8th free throw attempt, whereas McKinnon haven't even got to the line yet, which is not uncommon for them, but not what Nathan Gear would want.
Not to mention...
They are 3 points, so...
Warrandyte will be in the bonus as of now, so any fouls for the next 2 minutes 20 resulting in free throws, something that they can kind of look to exploit in the back end of this first term.
Leah Swain, another fresh face for this Warrandyte side. That was her first free throws for the season in her second game.
Must have done a little bit of a mid-season recruiting.
They did. Mid-season draft for Warrandyte, clearly, which you need to do when you're in a position that they are close to relegation. I think they'll avoid the relegation at the end of the year. They've got 3 wins, 2 ahead of Wyndham, and Warrnambool. So I think if they can just keep ahead of one of them, then they're safe. So
yeah, that's when you put it simply, that's all they need to do.
No, exactly. Thorley checks in, as well as Whitehouse and Osborne and Cooper for McKinnon.
Didn't know I played for McKinnon.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm going off last names here.
I couldn't help myself.
Thorley open in the corner, catch and shoot straight off the bench. Almost banked it in too.
Jeez, that was almost real good there from Lytle.
That would have been an impressive shot for Thorley if that banked in from the corner. Almost impossible. Strong drive, floater from Whitehouse, just rims out. Chases the O board though. Hustles on.
Good hustle there.
Jump ball going the Venom's way. Ref asking for 14 on the shot clock. He gets his wish. Boland straight down low into the...
Geez,
and
she's
foul
a force
called.
under there. Got some real taller players than McKinnon do, Warrandyte.
Yeah, looking at the lineups at the moment, Warrandyte's 5 have definitely got the height factor over McKinnon at the moment.
And right on cue, Tamara Gear going to check in now for McKinnon.
Romy Price takes a breath, which really, Gear does have the height on Price, but doesn't really help across the board. But when you got Lytle out there, she's just an absolute force to be reckoned with. So
Swing her at the rock and she'll do some magic and you'll be right.
she'll probably like this matchup actually on Boland's on the offensive end anyway. Take her off the dribble. Boland's knocks the second one down and it's a tied game. 14-all with a minute and a half left in the first quarter.
Not what the doctor ordered for McKinnon.
No, and here we go. Venom still in that... Warrandyte, sorry, still in that zone. Lytle takes a step back, rims out. Swain, easy rebound, lobs it out to Matthews, bringing it down the court. Quick as well.
Geez.
Got the tip.
Oh, well done, Swain, keeping it
Swain
alive.
did keep that alive, but errant pass. Thorley did well to keep Boland's out of the keyway there. And Lytle strong. She's going to go to line for 2.
Right. Recent enough time to when you said they don't get to the line too often.
Yep, and Lytle is someone you want at the line. She shoots over 90% from the free throw line.
Yeah, geez, I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind being able to do that.
And there you go, there's the first one. Yeah, Suckling and Lytle, both from McKinnon shooting over 90% this year from the free throw line. And they're the first ranked team from the free throw line as a whole, so...
Like you said before, it's 3 points if you...
It is 3 points.
Which should be, theoretically. Nice cut off there.
Cooper takes it strong. Nathan Gear and Meg Cooper asking for a little bit of a push in the back there, but no call, we play on.
Oh, geez.
Good trap there from Lytle, elbows coming out. Ref didn't fall for it.
Whitehouse put herself into heaps of trouble.
Good D from Gear, blocked straight back to Whitehouse. Boland's runs into Swain.
What a screen from our own team.
Ran into each other, didn't they? Thorley running hard and an errant pass from Gear. That's their 6th turnover for the game for McKinnon. Both teams got 6 turnovers, which I guess evens out for each other, but I think both coaches would want those numbers to be down per quarter.
You'd think so, but I think Warrandyte wouldn't be too unhappy even with the turnover numbers being within 4 in the shadows of the first term.
Absolutely. They'd be thrilled with this deficit at the moment. If they can get a bucket here, even better. Whitehouse over the top to Boland's. Good find. Rims out. 3 seconds. Lytle doesn't get it off.
I was going to say, I didn't think she got it off even if it did go in.
No, missed anyway, but we've got a bit of a game on our hands so far. 18-14, McKinnon lead at quarter time. Meg Cooper, Annabelle Fitter for McKinnon, both on 5 points. Hewen for Warrandyte leading them on 7 points. She started very well.
I was going to say, is it a case of we've got a game on our hands, or McKinnon have kind of just come slow out of the blocks as a second leg of their doubleheader this weekend?
I think that would play a slight factor. They had a pretty physical game last night in a win over Sunbury. I think coming in these back-to-back doubleheaders when you play last night, come in today, it's a pretty quick turnaround when you're playing at 12 o'clock, which I think that would be a slight factor, but I think you'll see in the second quarter they'll come out with a bit more energy, I would think. But I think if Warrandyte can keep in touch, this could turn into an absolute thrilling game.
Absolutely. I think that Warrandyte would be, spirits would be high for the time being. It's just a matter of whether they can keep in touch. McKinnon, obviously, one of the more class teams of the division this season.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the start of the game, it wasn't looking pretty for Warrandyte, but they fought their way back into it, and they've rewarded themselves with just a 4-point deficit at quarter time, which after the first probably 5 minutes, it did not look like that was going to be the case. So I think they'll be more than happy with this start so far. Boland's came on and actually was a very real presence down low at that offensive end. Got to the free throw line. They've got to the free throw line 10 times that quarter. 6 from 10, shooting 60%. But when you're on track for 40 free throws attempted for the game, that just shows how hard you are getting into the paint. I think Nathan Gear will be looking at ways to possibly try and keep them out of the paint, because that seems to be where they are struggling just a little bit on the defensive end.
On the flip side of that, you could also say it's a bit worrying for Warrandyte, the fact that they only scored 8 points not at the free throw line for the whole quarter.
Yeah, well, they're shooting 20%. 4 from 20 for the quarter, so the fact that they are 4 points down shooting 20% without hitting a three is it's impressive. I think this zone as well that they've dropped into definitely helped them a fair bit.
So McKinnon really slowed down in the back end of the first term.
Thorley for three, just misses left. I think Nathan Gear would have definitely drawn up a play to try and counteract this zone that Warrandyte are playing. Jeez, it's a Sunday. And it almost looks like McKinnon may have dropped into some kind of zone there as well, but I'll have to see next possession.
Can't beat him, join him.
Cooper cutting Thorley and just got caught in an awkward situation. She gets it back though. Lytle, you know what she wants to do. She wants to take it straight down the guts there, and does. Pull up Jay, money.
Very nice from Emily Lytle. You could tell what she wanted to do as soon as she picked up the basketball.
Yeah, when you watch her enough, you know exactly where she wants to get to. So in a zone like that, that's any zone that you're playing against. If you can get to the free throw line in that position, it
that's very deep.
Zoe Jenkins goes bang. I told you she could shoot.
That was, I'd say that was a good metre or two behind the arc. That was a very nice shot.
Yep, she's always been a shooter as a Knox Junior and a Ringwood Hawks NBL 1 player. Thorley tries her luck. Another miss. She hasn't been able to get one going just yet. Jump ball will stay McKinnon's way, but no, I think it will be Warrandyte's ball. McKinnon started the quarter with it. It'll be Warrandyte ball. Thorley checks out. Meg Cooper comes in just to stop the confusion with your name. So I'll say the full name this time.
Thank you.
Matthews to bring it up with Lewis right on her, which would scare me, dribbling the ball up the court, because she's lethal. Swain takes it down low, getting about triple teams. Still gets a shot up. Boland's O-board. She can't finish.
Just
bit
can't
of glad
finish
wrap
the
down
product.
there, isn't there?
Clean film on the hoop.
That's their 10th offensive rebound, though. That is insane, and I think Nathan Gear wouldn't be happy with that so far.
I was going to say, Warrandyte are giving themselves the chances. They just can't get the ball to drop early on. So 5 of 24 from the field. Anyone shooting 21%, whether it be from 3 or from the field, you're not real happy with it.
No, you struggle to win games when you shoot 20% from the field as a team, but we say that, and they're still within 3 points. So
For now,
if they can hit some more shots, though, if they can get that percentage up, this could turn into a very unexpected result.
So you never mind a little bit of an underdog story.
No, we don't mind it at all. Would be a massive win for Warrandyte to kickstart their back half of the year.
And with how tight the ladder is in this division, if Warrandyte are able to pull it off, it'll really throw a spanner in the works in terms of where teams finish in final positions and their aspirations.
Yeah, a loss here for McKinnon would be quite costly in terms of their positioning on the ladder come the end of the year. Not in terms of head-to-head with Warrandyte. I don't think Warrandyte will be in that finals talk, even though we are seeing a close game here. They've got a long way to come back at the moment in terms of the season, but you never know. But McKinnon,
Stranger things have happened.
They should be able to play finals this year and go for a deep run. They just got to get there first, which means you've got to win these games.
Correct.
Cooper brings it down the court. Good extra pass. Lewis steps in. Midi is good.
If they keep doing that, McKinnon are going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, That's an easy transition 2-point from Lewis there.
Looked a bit too easy there. Warrandyte's transition D, not up to scratch on that play.
And Swain again on the O glass, just can't finish, and that just keeps the woes for Warrandyte's field goal percentage. They're down to 18% so far. It's going to go Warrandyte's way. Swain, you just see she's doing everything right, but she just hasn't made a field goal yet.
Can't finish the product, which is never a good sign.
Fian checks in for Swain as we're talking about it, which that Bollins and Swain combination down low really gave Warrandyte something to run with there. Those two are on the court and they fought their way back a little bit. Fian now.
Nice
Yeah, that's their third block. They get it back though.
I think just even from a neutral standpoint, if you're Warrandyte, you want to have either one of Bollins or Swain on the court from what we've seen early on.
Yeah, they both play, and it looks like Boland's actually got the whiteboard over there drawing something up for the coaches on the bench, or maybe possibly showing Swain some of the plays, as she is quite fresh to this lineup. She might not have the playbook fully memorised yet.
I'm not sure you can draw up a play to stop that Emily Lytle shot. That was quick smart, that one.
Yeah, she's lethal from that mid-range area. Whitehouse. Straight down the middle, good drive, and draws the foul. This will be their first free throws for the quarter for Warrandyte. It seems like every time the guards for Warrandyte are getting downhill, they're drawing fouls, which is not great for the defenders from McKinnon, because they're not quite staying in front. They're pushing him to the sides, causing fouls.
So I think you can say that for most of the Warrandyte squad. Free throws 11 and 12, and we're still early on in the second.
Whitehouse knocks that one down. She's a 77% free throw shooter and knocks them both down. We've got a sub. Simmons getting some more first half minutes here for Cooper. She doesn't tend to play a whole lot of minutes for this side. Only averages 8 minutes a game. So good to see her getting some more minutes today, because we know what she can do on the defensive end especially.
It was a good take there from Natalie Keane. Just couldn't finish off the product. I'll get another go at it though. McKinnon with the rash pass.
Just under 6 minutes left to play. 25 plays 19. McKinnon in the lead. Lytle hasn't quite... I was about to say she hasn't quite got going. She's still got 9 points, but I think she's probably not getting the shots and getting downhill as much as she usually does, but clearly it doesn't matter because she's still got 9 points. She finds a way to score no matter what.
Could definitely be courtesy of the screen that Warrandyte have employed.
There's a foul there. Lock goes to ground. Lewis helps her up. Love a bit of sportsmanship here.
Absolutely. Subs for both teams. Tess Osborne checks in for Warrandyte. Romy Price, I believe Annabelle Fitter, check in for McKinnon.
And now we see a very different kind of lineup for both teams, with Boland, Swain and Gear all off. It's a bit of a smaller lineup for both crews.
Playing OKC small ball with no centre.
Yep. Well, it seems to work because they won a championship.
It worked for them, so
they either went small ball or they went double big with Hartenstein and Holmgren. But this lineup is more the small ball lineup for both teams. Although I would call Romy Price a traditional big. She does play down low, as you're about to see here. That left hand
got the mismatch she wanted.
Knocks it down. Her left hand is pretty hard to stop. As soon as she gets to her spot, she's a strong finisher. Down low, Kewen had the mismatch. They found her and she found the bucket.
Kewen saw Romy Price's mismatch and one up there on that one. That was a great catch and shoot off the glass.
Keane just fumbled, turned it over. Fast break here for Warrandyte. Kewen, great pass there from Locke. It's a 4-point game. Time out to McKinnon. Another little fight there from Warrandyte, bringing it back to 4 points. Kewen up to 11 points, 4 rebounds now.
I was going to say, she's shooting 50% from the field. She's up to 11 with half of the second to play, averaging 11 points on the season. So,
yeah, she's definitely taken the reins today as she's got to be the main scorer. And yeah, as you said, 23 points halfway through the second for Warrandyte, and they only average 53 and a half. So they are definitely on track to definitely score more than that today. And they're keeping McKinnon, honestly, they're not keeping McKinnon to a low score, a low total, but they're keeping up with him, which is the main thing.
Yeah, correct.
Because to win a game, you need to score more points than the other team.
Quite simple, isn't it? Put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, and try and stop them from getting the whole ball in the basket.
Correct. But
I love a high-scoring game, though, so
likewise.
I don't mind a blowout on the scoreboard in terms of both teams getting close to 100 points.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be nice.
Nice Sunday afternoon entertainment, but you can only work with what you dealt. And even though this is a bit more of a low-scoring game, it is a close one, which I do still like. So
absolutely. Rebound count, 24 Warrandyte, 19 McKinnon. Both teams still got 8 turnovers each, which slightly down in terms of per quarter. They've only got 2 each this quarter, but 8 for halfway through the second is more than what they'd be wanting, that's for sure. Brancatisano in now for McKinnon, coming off the Price screen. Gets to the elbow, good cut from Price, and there's that left hand.
Jeez, that's
rarely
nice.
Misses. Great cut from Price, great find from Brancatisano.
So Warrandyte's still employing this kind of small ball with Fian as their tall.
Kewen kicks it out. Drains a 3.
Belly lock.
Needed that to go, and it does. 3-point game. Only their second 3 for the day, Warrandyte. Not known for their 3-point shooting.
McKinnon.
Strong rebound, and they're out here. But when you see Alicia Lewis there, that's what she does.
There you go, right on cue.
She's one of the hardest people to get past in that kind of situation, one-on-one.
I think if you're McKinnon on the offense, you've got to look, although Warrandyte have employed the zone, you've got to look to get to the hoop.
Bit of shoots,
just
short.
Shots like that aren't working for the time being. They started off 2 for 3 from behind the arc, but since then they're 0 for 9. So McKinnon's baskets coming more so under the ring. You saw Romy Price before. I want to try and employ that tactic a little bit more often, if I'm McKinnon anyway.
Yeah, Price is Kewen again down low. Too strong, no foul calls. She wanted it though. She's up to 13 and it's a 1-point game.
Top scorer on the court. She looks real dangerous.
She's looking good. She's getting her way to the spots she wants to be in, catching it. No dribble kind of basketball. Lewis, corner 3. It's going to be a deep 2. Ref says no. Foot on the line.
I was about to say she's proved me wrong, but it's a 2, so it doesn't count.
Nah, that's a coach killer in my books.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate those long 2s with the foot on the line. Good D there from Lewis and Price. Lewis not happy that her players weren't looking at the ball in transition. Swings it to Simmons. Price up top. A bit of a fumble on the handoff there. Good pressure here from Warrandyte. Shot clock's winding down. Pressure still on. Great team defense from Warrandyte, and it's a shot clock violation. Excellent team defense. Causes the turnover. Substitutions coming in. Lytle and Cooper coming in for McKinnon. Jenkins coming in for Warrandyte. That's what they need to do, Warrandyte. Absolute hustle defense, and then the offense seems to be flowing a lot better than it was in that first quarter. So.
Absolutely. If they can keep that defense going, Brancatisano just got absolutely swamped. Had nowhere to go. Forced the shot clock violation.
Jenkins, good kick to the corner. Ellie Locke tries again and nails it.
Back tied up.
Back-to-back 3s for Locke, and it's a tight game here with just under 2 minutes left in the first half. Cooper, she'll shoot that. Short, long rebound for Lewis. She always somehow finds a way to get some offensive rebounds. Lytle, good move.
Jeez, that's good.
Can't finish. Price, good board and 1. Fian puts her hand up saying fouls on her, and Romy Price comes in and doing a job. That's
Absolutely.
her 6th point, going to the line for her 7th point of the game. Nathan Gear, we've said this all year, he trusts his bench players to come in, play a role and do some damage, compete on the court, and Romy Price missed the free throw, but she's come on and done exactly that. It'll be Warrandyte's ball. 2-point game, minute 32 left in the first half.
So Warrandyte, you'd think they wouldn't want to change too much coming up to the halftime break. Maybe little things here and there, but when you're making plays like that, you're leaving Osborne out the back for the open 2.
That's too easy from McKinnon. If you're going to go into a half-court press like that, your guards who are up the top of that press need to put more pressure on so it doesn't get through that quickly. Fitter tries her luck for 3, rims out. Warrandyte go the other way, could take the lead here on this possession.
I don't think that was would have been in the script this morning.
Off hands, it'll stay Warrandyte's ball. Gear comes in, and 33 all. I don't think it would have been on the cards when we came this morning, but Warrandyte have come, and they've come to play. I mean, I'm very impressed from what I was expecting coming into this game. They're proving, I think, everyone in the league wrong, and there's Fian. They've taken the lead. 2-point game. Warrandyte winning.
Might be a few choice words from Coach Nathan Gear in the McKinnon change rooms at the break.
Great move from Lewis. Can't finish, and here they go again. Warrandyte slowing it down now. This will more than likely be their last offensive possession for the half to extend their lead. Kewen getting pushed back. Jenkins tries her luck. Rims out. Board from Locke. And she puts up the floater and drains it. Extends the lead. Lewis and Locke almost gets the steal. And they might get it back anyway here, Warrandyte, off Lytle's leg.
Oh, wow.
9 seconds to go in the half. Warrandyte absolutely causing chaos.
So their second term's been really impressive. Kind of their defensive hustle.
I'm honestly very impressed with how Warrandyte are playing right now. On both ends of the floor, Locke tries her luck.
Jeez, if that goes,
just short. And Warrandyte going into the half with an unexpected 4-point lead. 37 plays 33. Kewen, 13 points, 4 rebounds. Ellie Locke heated up that quarter. She's got 8 points. And on the other side, Romy Price, 6 points. Alicia Lewis, 6 points. Emily Lytle, 9 points. Warrandyte leading the rebound count by 7. Turnovers, 10 for McKinnon, 9 for Warrandyte. Hopefully those numbers drop for the second half.
You'd hope so for their sake. There look to be a few kind of unhappy campers, so to speak, in the McKinnon camp. Emily Lytle walking straight off the court.
Yeah, I think Nathan Gear will be getting them in quickly and having a chat to them, but we will be back for the second half action in about 10 minutes' time.
See you there.
We are back, second half action here at GSAC. Warrandyte 37, lead McKinnon 33. This will be an interesting second half. I think we'll see the big guns from McKinnon step up this half. I think Emily Lytle's going to come out firing from all cylinders this second half. She's got 9 points to her name. I expect that to double at least for the second half. Alicia Lewis leading the way, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. She's influencing the game on both ends of the floor, causing chaos on defense, facilitating the floor on the offensive end. And Warrandyte, Ewan, 13 points, 4 rebounds on Locke, 8 points, 3 assists.
And Locke knocked down a couple of important threes at the back end of that second term. So
she did. She really, and here's Lytle straight on, straight down the floor. Misses the three. Ewan, strong rebound.
I know she missed, but that was too easy from the Warrandyte defense. You can't be giving someone like Lytle a wide open three look like that too often if you want to win.
It is dangerous to do that. And there's Lewis causing the chaos on defense again already. As we said, they're going to come out very hot and fiery in this second half. Warrandyte just needs to not chip away, but they need to keep themselves calm on the offensive end. Keep getting the good looks they were getting in the first half. And look at that. Backdoor cut. No foul call, but easy for Warrandyte there. It's going to be a foul called on Osborne, I would assume. Down on the baseline. We're going to go McKinnon's way. It is on Osborne. Hands foul. It'll be interesting to see how Warrandyte come out. If they drop back into that zone, how they were in that first half. It looks like they're in a bit of a one-on-one defense here. Straight into the post, Lytle goes to work. That nasty jab step. She can't finish it though. Rebound from Bollins, who starts the second half. Didn't start the game.
Right on cue.
Shoots the midi, bam.
There you go.
And that's why she's on the court. That's her 6th point.
Maybe she should have started.
Possibly. She's been playing very well. 6 points, 3 rebounds already in this game in just 6 minutes. Cooper finds Gear. Great pass. It was Fitter, sorry. Found Gear. Couldn't finish though. Gear puts it up. Can't finish. Cooper gets the offensive rebound. Fitter in the corner for 3. Bang. Another triple for Fitter. She's up to 8 points.
So Warrandyte's defense this first minute and a half, they're kind of letting McKinnon have a lot of wide open looks from deep. They did so in the first half as well. McKinnon couldn't make them pay. If a few of those shots start going, this game could come well out of their reach.
And just a costly turnover there, down on the defensive way. Lytle, she'll take that. Puts it up. Strong finish. There's her 11th point. 1 point game now, 38-39. Warrandyte just need to settle into this half a little bit, and that's not one way to do it. Lytle with the easy steal, goes the other way, straight through Locke. Can't finish though. Bollins is there to clean up the mess. Warrandyte just need to settle into an offensive set here. Kewen says not doing that, gonna drain a 3 instead.
I was gonna say, you don't need to settle into an offensive set when you can finish like that.
Yeah, Kewen just saw an opportunity and took it, and I guess that's what they need to do, take the opportunities when they get it, because McKinnon are one of the better defensive teams.
That's deep.
In terms of just their pressure up and down the floor, like a Lewis. Lewis is up on them straight away as soon as they get the ball. Locke to Kewen. Didn't have the look there. Bollins puts up a floater and gets it to go. Wowee.
Warrandyte keeping in it here. I mean, I say that they are in front, so they're definitely in it if they're in front. But
they've come out, they've settled into the second half nicely after a little bit of a touchy start there.
They're leading the quarter once again, so kind of alarm bells might start ringing in the camp of McKinnon. Lewis drives, doesn't get the foul, can't find the shot.
And just again, the pressure from Lewis to cause that turnover, and Lytle gets the foul and one down the other end. Little things like that from Lewis. Doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but she puts the pressure on the ball carrier there, forcing them to cough up a bad pass, and Lytle's the beneficiary of it.
That could be kind of turning point in this second half. Alicia Lewis's defensive pressure.
We know they're in the lead, 40-44, but this half especially, they've started a bit rocky. They've found ways to score still, but if they don't score, they struggle to actually get up into a set. The pressure from McKinnon in the full court is outstanding so far to start this second half.
Correct, yeah. They found their way out the back a couple of times, but I think McKinnon will have a little bit more of a focus on making sure that they slow down the offensive transition of Warrandyte.
Just the one free throw for Lytle, and she knocks it down. And again, a tip pass from Lewis. She does it constantly. Every game, constantly tipping passes, getting steals. Matthews with the ball, looking for something. Jenkins, quick shot, rims out. Meg Cooper gets the rebound. Lewis fumbles it. Regains possession though. Lytle in the corner. Good middle drive. Pull-up game strong. That's her 16th point.
Well, you said she needed to double her 9, and she's almost there in the first half of the third.
Yeah, she was always going to come out firing after the way she ended that second half. She wasn't happy with her performance so far, and she's come out with a very different mindset. Jenkins, I think, just copped one to the scone there.
The schnoz.
Looks like she's okay getting up. There's going to be a foul called. I don't think it was from that little play there. I think it was off the ball somewhere else. 25 push. No, it is going to be on Fitter. Was definitely accidental, but Jenkins stays on the court. She says she's fine. Baseline ball anyway for Warrandyte. Kewen subbed off and then sits directly at the score bench to sub herself back in, so unsure what that's about.
Might have been an incorrect player subbed. Jenkins for 3, can't find it.
Boland's on the offensive glass, puts it up, and that was a bit of a circus shot. Probably looking for the foul, but
I can do that.
I'd say so. Lytle, strong drive again. Fitter in the corner. Short. Lewis on the O-glass again. She does it so well, finds her spots, and she gets 2. That's her 8th point for the game. And McKinnon take the lead once more, 45-44.
Warrandyte.
Good find. I was going to say good find, then I paused, and then I said it anyway, so...
Well, it was a good find. They just couldn't finish the product.
Cooper can't finish that 3 in the corner. Fitter follows it up, and it'll stay McKinnon's ball.
I was going to say, I was a little bit confused by the...
timeout.
By the substitution of Kewen at the time, but by the look of her sitting back down straight on the scorer's bench to sub back in, it might have been the wrong player. She did have a few words with Coach Paul O'Brien as she did make her way off the court, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of an impact she can make when she comes back on the court.
Absolutely, it's a 1-point game. McKinnon have taken the lead here, thanks mostly to Emily Lytle. Started the second half on fire. She's got 7 points for the quarter. We're 5 minutes in, 16 points for the game, to go with 5 rebounds, 4 steals as well for Emily Lytle. She's getting her hand in the passing lane. They've got 10 steals. McKinnon for the game. 10 steals, 10 assists, 10 turnovers, 10 offensive rebounds, if you want to say as well.
Lots of 10s.
Lots of 10s everywhere.
And McKinnon really wrestled back momentum just before that timeout. I think it was 2 or 3 baskets in a row, giving them the lead. Warrandyte not really able to fire back a punch on their offense. Interesting to see. Coach Paul O'Brien looks very vocal with his hand signals currently, so interesting to see how Warrandyte play coming out of this timeout.
I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if they drop back into that zone that worked well for them in the first half.
Not really sure why they changed out of it, but who knows? Coach might have been flicking some magnets around,
No.
changing a few things.
Offensively, I don't think they've got too much to worry about at the moment. They're doing well. They're getting the right looks, just not finishing, and some of the passes just aren't quite getting through to their targets. But defensive end is where it's going to start for them for this second half. Good help, D. Lewis grabs her own board again. Meg Cooper.
It almost could have been a foul there, I reckon.
Jump ball. We're going to go Warrandyte's way. In a bit of full court pressure here, McKinnon. Not a press, just to put some pressure on the ball carriers, bringing it up the court. Hewen over the top, passes out of it. Whitehouse, baseline drive, and Fitter read it like a book, and there's going to be a foul call going McKinnon's way. Foul is on Boland's. Hands foul going the way of McKinnon. Price and Keynes check in for Cooper and Gear. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left in the third quarter. 45 plays 41. McKinnon in the lead.
45 plays 44, you mean?
Yeah, don't know where I got the one from. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, 45, 44, 1 point lead. That's where I got it from.
That's where you got the one from.
Yes, it was. Fitter, good screen from Price and on the roll. Great pick and roll. That's fundamental basketball.
Looks a bit sore after that, Price. Although, that inbound pass from Kewen is rash. Lytle spins, can't finish it off. Offensive rebound, she gets another
And
go.
one.
Emily Lytle gets it to go on the second attempt. She'll go to the line for the three-point play.
And just again, Lytle with her fifth steal. Another O board. Her and Lewis both have 6 rebounds each. Lytle 18 points. Going to the line for one more. I'm not interested. I'm intrigued as to why we haven't seen Swain touch the court for Warrandyte this half yet. She was playing very well down low in the paint, just being a good presence on both ends of the floor.
I don't think we saw too much of her in the second term either. She's played just the 7 minutes. Have a possible, I think, 26, give or take a couple.
Feehan on the court. Boland's baseline drive. Gets the reverse to go as well. Good finish. And I guess that's why Swain hasn't needed to touch the floor yet.
I was going to say.
Because Boland's has got 10.6 rebounds to her name. She's playing very well.
Boland's can do things like that. They might not need
You'd
Swain
expect,
to play with her.
would expect Bolton's to get a breather soon, though. I think she's played the whole third quarter, so I'd expect Swain to check in at some point before three-quarter time. And Lytle, 2 defenders on the floor in front of her. She just jacks it over both of them, drains it.
So that was a bit of a mesh there from Warrandyte on the defensive end. I get going for the loose ball, but you don't need the whole team kind of swarming around it, leaving players like Lytle wide open.
And Lytle's up to 22 points now for the game. Boland's just rims out. Rebound Lytle.
She's really taken the game by the scruff of the neck in this term, has Emily Lytle. I believe she's got 13 for herself out of McKinnon's 20 points this term. So
Bromley Price hustles for that O board. Gets it. Lytle misses. Price again on the rebounds. Can't quite get it. Hewen. And that's going to be a foul on Fitter. That'll be her third. Warrandyte just need to settle a little bit here in the last 2.5 minutes. Don't let this lead blow out to double digits just yet. Keep it in range.
Swain's checking in now for the Venom.
And Boland's checking out just as I predicted.
Crystal ball.
Yep. I know basketball. No, it was bound to happen. Boland's hasn't had a break this quarter yet. She's doing really well, but Swain, when you got Swain on the bench who can come in and make an impact the same way, you may as well give Boland's a breather when you can.
Cooper and Thorley have checked in for McKinnon. Swain just holds onto it.
Did well to keep control of that ball.
Indeed she did.
It's going to stay Warrandyte's ball. Paul O'Brien yelling very loud his instructions. He wants it to be loud and clear.
Very vocal. I'd say he'd be quite unhappy with this third term.
Good drive from Fian, though, and he'll be happy with that one. 5-point game now. McKinnon in the lead still.
Not sure if that was the set. He still looks quite agitated.
He wouldn't be happy with that if that goes in.
Oh, there you go.
Meg Cooper can shoot the rock, as we know, and she drains it. That's a killer for Paul O'Brien over on the sideline. Just under 2 minutes left to play this quarter. Warrandyte need to find a way to keep within reach on that scoreboard, and that's not going to help them. It's a turnover going McKinnon's way. Just a little bit more pressure building up for Warrandyte right now.
So they need a response in this final. Just under 2 minutes. Do the Venom. Been totally outplayed in this third term.
Cooper almost went back-to-back from three land. Fian, strong rebound. Thorley there. Ooh, and the foul's being called. It was a good read from Thorley, but just gets the foul called. Block Venom's way. Only her first foul. She's played 4.5 minutes, Thorley.
So Warrandyte might turn to Michaela Kewen here, although she looks to have one or two on her as Fian drives left side.
And
did everything but go in.
Strong rebound from Swain over the top and finishes.
So that presence from Leah Swain. If Warrandyte can make the presence of Swain and Bollins work in their favour in the final term, they might stand a bit more of a chance than some people might give them. They are still within 6.
Good D there, off hands again. Thorley putting the pressure on, and she's going to cause the turnover. Great defense from Tamsin Thorley. Causes the turnover with just under a minute left in this third quarter. And she's going to come off. Good little stint there from Thorley. Alicia Lewis checks back in for the last 44 seconds.
It's important minutes there from Thorley. Did well on the defensive end, especially in that piece of play.
Just couldn't get the reward on the offensive end, but her team is up by 6. Natalie Keane with the long offensive rebounds. Swings at Meg Cooper.
Good pass.
See Warrandyte in this zone. Wow. That was a fantastic pass from Alicia Lewis.
That was amazing.
It actually looked like it slipped out of her hands and still went to Meg Cooper.
Straight into the lap.
And that's going to go the other way. Swain might have copped one in the jaw there.
Just one pass too many there. I feel like Talia Matthews should have just shot the rock then, instead of looking for the extra pass underneath the ring.
Yeah, could have gone for a little floater gang there, but decided not to.
No shot clock, so McKinnon will have the final offensive play of the third.
In that zone, under 10 seconds left now. Lewis decides to jack a triple, falls short. Price with the strong board, can't get it. Kewen locks it up there to finish the third quarter. 59 plays 50. McKinnon in the lead by 9. Huge quarter for Emily Lytle. She had 13 points that quarter. As we said at halftime, if she gets going, it's going to be hard for Warrandyte to keep in touch. But as we say that, they are in touch well and truly. Only 9 points. Kewen's got 16 points, 7 rebounds. They're doing well. They're doing well. That quarter, obviously, tables turned a little bit to McKinnon's favour, but it's definitely not out of reach yet for Warrandyte.
Absolutely. I feel like Warrandyte kind of put the feelers out at the start of that third term just to see if McKinnon would make any changes in the after the break, to which they did, and McKinnon really made Warrandyte pay for their kind of sluggishness on the defensive end at the start of that third term anyway.
Absolutely. Look at halftime stats. It was 10 turnovers apiece. Three-quarter time, McKinnon 0 turnovers that quarter, whereas Warrandyte had 7.
And there's your...
So there's an answer to why this might have changed direction in terms of the scoreboard.
There's your kicker. There's your...
Field goal percentage is pretty even now. 37% for McKinnon, 35% for Warrandyte. However, McKinnon have put up 11 more shots total. Free throw percentage is the same. Pretty similar anyway. Rebound count. Warrandyte winning the rebound count. 42-37. steals. McKinnon got 12 steals, Warrandyte only the 3. So
there you go. There's your your big stats. McKinnon leading the steals comfortably, and they really took care of the rock in that third term. No turnovers. It's always a very nice outcome for 10 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, massive quarter in general for McKinnon. I'd expect this quarter, I would not be surprised if Warrandyte come out in that zone again to try and slow this scoring. We will soon see as we come into the last quarter. Brandt Catasano, Lewis, Gear, Fitter and Cooper on the court for McKinnon. Jenkins, Swain, Feehan, Hewen and Locke for Warrandyte. And what a find from Lewis. Fitter can't finish though.
I know I'm not a very good basketballer myself, but I feel like Fitter could have just shot the ball and instead of taking the dribble inside, kind of ran herself into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it did seem that way, and I think Lewis up the top knew that was the case. Strong rebound from Feehan. She'll go to the line for 2. Good start for her this quarter. She's got 6 points, 8 rebounds for the game.
Absolutely. If Warrandyte can come out with any sort of replication of that second term, we're in for a real good finish here.
I couldn't agree more.
Didn't sound real confident when you said that, mate.
No, I am confident.
Got to make your free throws, bud. Got to make your free throws. That's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, if they can find themselves at the free throw line like they did in that first quarter, it'll go a long way to chipping away at this small lead. Really, it's only 8 points, but I just feel like McKinnon's just on top of them at the moment.
At the moment, yeah, but by no means is it over.
No, absolutely not. And as we see, Warrandyte have dropped into that zone again for this last quarter. I'd say they're going to stay with it for a while as well. Meg Cooper drains that corner triple. And that's one thing against McKinnon. When you go into a zone like that, they've got shooters left, right and centre to kill you from beyond the arc. And that's what Meg Cooper does.
Absolutely. You got to... I know you're employing the zone to try and protect the paint, but you got to try your best to close out on the deadly three-point shooters, if there is any.
And Swain got a hand on that pass, but doesn't matter. And Lewis just saves it, and it's going to go off the foot of Hewen.
It's recorded a Warrandyte ball.
Warrandyte ball. That's why we have referees making the calls.
Correct. I almost thought that Lewis stepped on the half-court line when she was trying to keep that ball from being a...
Was it close to a backcourt
court?
Violation?
Yeah, it was very close.
Just saved it, but went out of bounds off her anyway. Locke pull up midi, goes long, and just gets a hand in there. Bit unnecessary in the full court, but slows down the transition for McKinnon.
Absolutely. I feel like we spoke highly about Emily Lytle for McKinnon in the third term, needing to make an impact. I feel like if you Warrandyte, Zoe Jenkins is one that can kind of turn the tables here with her previous basketball experience. Only shooting 1 for 7 from the field, so she can catch some fire. Then look out.
I can tell you from witnessing it in the past, even as a junior, when she catches fire, she well and truly catches fire. So if she can get a good look here to get herself going, she could well and truly cut this lead back on her own. You look for Hewen as well on the offensive end to try and flare herself back up. She's got 16 points for the game.
Speak of the devil, she's just picked up the steal.
Good transition defense from McKinnon. Looks like they're playing... No, they're definitely playing one-on-one, not a zone. And here's Jenkins, swings to Hewen. They love going into these talls for Warrandyte, and Fitter just getting... I was going to say getting hacked, but clearly not.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. But
it's gone out of bounds. It's going to be Warrandyte ball. Warrandyte going into their talls, trusting them to get some flow going on the offensive end, but McKinnon just reading it well.
Over the course of the game, I feel like Bollins has shown a little bit more in the post than Swain has.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
Don't count him out. I've seen a lot stranger things happen.
Still 8 minutes of game time left, and I would expect, as you said, Bollins will check back in at some point in this last quarter, obviously. Hewen to Jenkins on cue. Drains it.
Oh, there you
We said
go.
it.
Look out.
We said it could happen.
Look out.
It could happen. 8-point game. 62-54, but Emily Lytle just doing whatever she wants down the offensive end. Strong rebound from Feehan. That's her 9th board. If they can get it to Jenkins here, she could go back to back.
Oh, not again. Oh,
Just rims out. Just rims out.
Jeez.
But you got to shoot that when you've just hit one. In transition, heel, toe, toe. Shoot that thing. Warrandyte still playing this kind of zone. Branca Asano stuck in the corner. Lewis cuts, finds gear. Rims out again. Feehan, there's her 10th board. Locke kicks ahead to Jenkins. She swings it, and Lewis just reads it well, gets a hand on it.
It's a great read from Alicia Lewis.
I'd love to see, I don't think we've got the statistic, but I'd love to see how many deflections Alicia Lewis has this year.
I don't think we're that advanced. But
No, but she averages 3.2 steals a game, and I reckon deflections are almost triple that. She gets her hand on the ball almost every defensive possession.
Correct. Brand Catasano and Gear have made way for Keane and Price for McKinnon. Might see them again. See what Coach Nathan Gear wants to do. Here he goes. Swain in the post. All out of court. So it'll be a McKinnon ball. Well defended by Price. Swain will make way now for Bolins. Geez, we've
Told
done
the future a fair bit, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, haven't we? We're in good form here.
8-point game, just under 7 minutes left. Lewis bringing the ball up the court. Looks like they've dropped out of the zone, Warrandyte. Fitter to Lytle. Can't get it into Price. Great defense down low from Feehan. And Keane gets open off the Lewis dish and hits it.
It's a
Big
big shot
hit for Natalie Keane. That's her first bucket for the day.
Not a bad shot.
She can shoot the rock as well, and that's going to be off Lewis's leg. She wanted it, and as we say, another deflection for her.
Jeez, get me back in. That grab of the ball was clean, that.
That was clean. Well done. Well done. I'm impressed. Jenkins to pass it in. Straight into Feehan. Running a bit of a... don't really know what that was, but into Bolins, who's been doing well down there all game.
There it is again.
She scores.
She's been a lot more proficient than Swain has in the post, although they've both been big presences.
Yeah, Bolins just hitting the scoreboard a bit more. She's got 12 points, and Keane, that's just too easy, but she can't finish. Lytle says, don't worry, I've got it.
Jeez, that's good.
She is one player who is hard to stop. She's got 24 points, 9 rebounds, and the 5 steals.
It's almost a bit of a get on my shoulders, I'll take you to the promised land kind of thing. That was very impressive.
Half-time, she was not happy, as we said, and she's come out all guns blazing. This will be her 25th point for the night, for the day, sorry. We're still daytime. What are we, 20 past 1? Definitely middle of the day.
I'm going to say, you're not even really close to the night time at that point.
Just rims out. And McKinnon get it back somehow. Price can't finish. Lytle on the rebound again. That'll be her double-double. Couldn't finish, though. And, yeah, a lot of contact there coming down the court. Coach O'Brien not happy with the way Feehan was treated there running down the court, but the referee called the foul anyway. Cooper going to check in for Lewis. Probably going to get her last breather of the game unless this lead blows out a little bit, where she might just take a seat for the rest of the game, but I expect to see her back.
5:50 on the clock. McKinnon's lead out to 11. Done well to stop Kewen on the offensive for Venom. Here she is with ball in hand.
Good baseline drive from Locke. Puts up a little hook and gets it to go. That's her 10th point for the day. Back to within single digits, 9-point game. Certainly not over. Meg Cooper. And she just shoots the mickey out of it. She's got 17 points for the game.
5 of 11 from 3 as well. That's a decent return.
Yeah, we know what she can do. Under 18s, McKinnon Cougar Jr., and she knows how to shoot the ball. offensive presence. Timeout, Warrandyte. Paul O'Brien going to have a chat to his crew coming into the last 5 minutes of the game. Down 12, 58 plays 70. McKinnon in the lead. Lytle, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 5 steals. Meg Cooper, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. And for Warrandyte, Hewan's got 16 points, 7 rebounds. She's been a bit quieter this second half. Bolins has stepped up though, 12.6 rebounds in just 14.5 minutes, which is an impressive stat line.
Nice return.
Good return. Getting your money's worth for sure with her.
Absolutely.
I think for Warrandyte, leading into this last 5 minutes, a 12-point deficit certainly not out of reach by any means. They got to get going on the offensive end and look after the ball. They're up to 21 turnovers for the game, which is above their season average of 19.8 with 5 minutes to play. So if they can look after the ball, make some shots, I think on the defensive end, you've got to get hands to shooters. This is one thing that McKinnon does so well. They bury teams from beyond the arc when they get open. Meg Cooper, suckling usually, although she's not playing today. She's another one that just can kill a team in a 5-minute patch when she gets hot. And Meg Cooper doing it right now, as well as Emily Lytle, but that's just a given, I think. Yeah, she's always doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'd think so, but I think it'll be interesting to see sort of how Warrandyte applies himself for this final 5 minutes, whether they go back into that zone, which typically is more of a slow defensive play, or whether they want to play more one-on-one going for the ball. Looks like the latter for that defensive stretch.
Locke bringing it up the court now. Good pressure from Keane. All the guards from this McKinnon team just put the pressure on the ball carriers. Jenkins, that's a long three, long rebound. She gets it back off the Kewen rebound. Locke looks to get it into Bolins, and off hands, it's going to be Warrandyte ball though. Romy Price wanted it to go the other way, but doesn't quite get it. Lewis checks in now for Fitter. Baseline action here for Warrandyte. Jenkins catches, gives it to Kewen in the corner, and that'll help. That'll help. 9-point game, back to single digits. Kewen, that's her 19th point for the game.
We did say it during that timeout. She has been quiet in this second half, but along with Jenkins, that's one that McKinnon won't want catching fire in the backstretch.
Meg Cooper goes again. Can't hit that one. Fee, and another rebound. She's got 12 for the game. They need to get some quick points here, Warrandyte, and that's what they're about to get. Kewen on the layup. 7-point game. Here we go. Timeout, McKinnon. Nathan Gear just stopping that run before it gets too out of hand. 7-point game, though, with just under 4 minutes to play. We've got a game on our hands here.
So it's right back on. Warrandyte have done really well keeping it the whole day. I think even if they do end up losing, they can be quite happy with their performance today, taking it to one of the better teams in the division.
Absolutely. Look at their last matchup in round 8. McKinnon got the win by 45 points. So this is a massive turnaround for their second matchup of the year. To keep them, hopefully, if they don't come back and win, keeping it within single digits is a massive win for them going into this back half of the year. With the inclusions of players like Swain and Jenkins, it's a bit of a new look lineup with Durant and Pina absent. Unsure if they're injured, if they're sick, what's going on. They haven't played for a while, but they're two of their main players who haven't been here. Durant only played the 6 games, Pina played the 9, but both played a lot of minutes, did a lot of damage when they were playing, so unfortunate that they're not playing in recent times, but this lineup anyway that they've got now is doing quite well for themselves.
Absolutely. It could have been a couple of little two-way contracts for Durant and Pina, but
well, they come off a win last week. They played Warrnambool, so that's a good win for them in terms of the relegation factor. They need to win those games to stay in champ next year. Lytle just misses. Another O-board. Gear gets that one. It's off hands. Warrandyte ball. big possession coming up for Warrandyte. If they can get a bucket here, this is going to be a crazy finish, I suspect.
I dare say that may have come off Warrandyte hands. Tamara Gear wasn't very happy with the call.
But we play ball.
Correct.
Fian up top. Alicia Lewis guarding. Not who I'd want guarding myself if I was about to dribble the ball. Locke takes it. Interesting take. Gets the O board though. Almost could have put that up. Kewen foot on the line. Nails it. That hurts. They would have loved the extra point there to bring it to 4 points, but however, it's a 5-point game. Kewen got 23 points now for the game.
She's seen Emily Lytle and matched her. Has Michaela Kewen.
Gear kicks it to Cooper. Step back and blocked. Fian, I think it was Fian that got a hand to that. Might have been Bolins, but we'll see who the statisticians give that one to.
You can feel it. You can feel the momentum shifting. You really can. The Warrandyte bench have really started chirping since the last 2 timeouts.
It's only a 5-point game with 3 minutes to play, and another block. Great, and a foul going the way of Warrandyte. Gear called for that foul. This could be a big upset we're about to witness if Warrandyte can keep pushing for the final 3 minutes.
Jeez, I tell you what, they get a basket on this play, and it is all to play for in the final 3 minutes.
Fian gets it. Cut from Jenkins. Blocked from Lewis. And the turnover as well. One thing Lewis can do, she can get deflections and steals, but she can jump for them blocks too. Meg Cooper, that would have been a dagger. Lewis, Lytle, sorry, almost gets it, but can't. Got away with one there. Warrandyte and Locke getting Fian left-hand drive, takes it and foul again. Gear, that'll be her 3rd foul.
Becomes a really important set of free throws here for Fian. Warrandyte shooting 64% from the line as a team, 9 of 14.
And Fian herself is a 50% free throw shooter.
So if you're Warrandyte, I'm not sure whether this is who you want the ball in the hands of, but hey, let's see. She
misses the first.
So this is
some
big time.
Big free throws for the game. They're shooting 9 of 15 from the free throw line. So make your free throws. You're in the lead right now.
You'd imagine she's got a few butterflies flying around.
Misses the second as well. Not what you want, but it's all back to the defensive mindset now for Warrandyte and for Fian. Kewen gets a hand in there. Lytle, you know what she's going to want to do. She wants to get straight to the bucket. And it's going to be a turnover. Warrandyte ball. Good team defense from Warrandyte. They're just keeping themselves in it on the defensive end, holding McKinnon scoreless for the last few minutes.
There's another stop. It's getting a bit nervy if you're on the McKinnon bench right about now. Locke, floater over Gear, can't find it.
Chaos ball here. Locke gets it back, kicks it out to Kewen, shoots the midi, misses. Big board from Fian. Hands going everywhere. Fian again with the rebound and another one. Lytle just takes it from her though.
Jeez, I reckon Fian had 4 attempts there. If she makes that shot.
A lot of missed opportunities. Now that's hard to guard for Jenkins when you've got Lytle running full pelt down the court. Fouls happened. O'Brien's asked the question. Hands come down, says the ref.
I reckon if you're Warrandyte, they've had a lot of chances to be a tad bit closer, maybe even in front at points during the game.
And that helps them though. Lytle misses the first free throw. Shooting her second now. Makes that one 6-point game. Still within reach for Warrandyte. They got to get a score on the board though.
Kewen, they want the ball in her hands.
Jenkins throws it to Locke. Locke gets the pick from Fian. Fitter, straight switch. And that's going to be a hook. And Fitter loved it.
So she looked pretty happy with herself after that, did Fitter.
Absolutely. And it's going to be...
Warrandyte timeout, I believe.
Timeout. Warrandyte, you are correct. Saw that call happening when the hook arm came around and the ref saw it too, called it. We're going to go the way of McKinnon after this timeout. 6 points, minute 26 to go. I think McKinnon are in the box seat for sure right now. They need to settle on the offensive end, get a good look, and just get some stops on defense. They'll finish the game off.
Absolutely. I think you definitely prefer to be in McKinnon's shoes. However, Warrandyte, they had a few runs here and there throughout the game where they put on 2, 3, 4 baskets without any response from McKinnon. So if you're Warrandyte, one of those right now would be very timely.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 2-possession game, really. If you hit 2 threes, which I know Warrandyte have only hit 6 for the game, but getting stops on the defensive end is where it's going to start right now with a minute and a half left. If they can keep McKinnon scoreless for the game, they are a very hot chance to get the win here.
I think the stats suggest if you want those 2 threes for Warrandyte, get it in the hands of Ellie Locke or Michaela Kewen. They're both 2 for 3 from behind the arc. Zoe Jenkins as well is another one that you might think about swinging the rock to.
Yeah, we know she can shoot it. Lytle brings the ball up the court for McKinnon. Gets the pick from Fitter and just gets her way into the paint. Goes everywhere. Touches every part of the court. Gets it back. That's going to go short. Rebound to Warrandyte. They need to settle here, though. Kewen does that.
I just think Locke found the wrong pass there. Jenkins had the whole left side of the court to herself.
Good screen from Bollins. And Locke hits it. It's a 4-point game here with just under a minute to go. Warrandyte need to put pressure up the court here. And they do. Don't need to foul, but they do foul. I don't think they needed to foul just yet intentionally. It's going to be 2 shots for Lytle. Probably not the person you want on the foul line either, shooting over 90% for the year, although she's missed a few tonight.
She's 6 from 9 today, not tonight.
Yep, we are still daytime.
Still 1:30 in the afternoon, still bright outside.
Yeah, it's still early, Plenty of daytime left.
Correct.
Makes the first one, pushes out the 5-point lead. Makes the second 6-point lead. Now Warrandyte as well don't have any timeouts left if it comes down to it. Good pass, Kewen gets it. Not in a great position and blocked from Gear. And Gear fouled. She'll go to the line for 2. Can't keep playing the foul game if you're not scoring down the other end, because it is worthless.
Tell you what though, if you're Warrandyte, Tamara Gear may be a player you look to foul. 57% free throw shooter.
Yep.
Let's see if she proves me wrong, but
if you do it smartly, it works. But Gear says, bad luck, I'll make 1. Pushes it out to 7 points, 3-possession game with 41 seconds left. Slowly getting a little out of reach now for Warrandyte, and she makes the second 8-point game. This needs to be a bit of 8-second offense from Warrandyte.
She did make me look a little bit silly there, Tamara Gear.
Bollins just needs to, they just need to get a shot up straight away. Jenkins does, misses. Fight for it, Kewen gets it, chucks it up, misses. Fitter with the rebound. Jump ball gonna go the way of Warrandyte. That helps them a little bit. 25 seconds though.
They
Not
are going to
need time.
They are going to need to foul after this offensive play. Can't let McKinnon run down the clock.
There is no point fouling if you don't get a bucket here, which they will get free throws for Kewen. To bring it within 6 points, very tough position from here to win. I don't think it'll happen from this position, but never say never. If Kewen can knock both of these down, misses the first.
I was just about to say she's shooting 100% today before that free throw from the line, so probably a good thing I didn't say anything. Oh,
and
geez.
she's missed them both. So, and they're going to foul Tamara Gear again with 21 seconds left. This looks like it might be a 10-minute last minute here.
As usual.
It's what we see in close games when the clock stops every time there's a whistle. This last few minutes goes for about half an hour.
Indeed. Not sure whether...
I suspect if Gear knocks down even just one of these, you won't see
another.
You won't see many fouls given here, and she knocks the first. Obviously, in this comp, head-to-head is important, but when Warrandyte lost by 45 in the first matchup, it doesn't matter how much you lose by here, unfortunately.
I think it's out of reach, definitely out of reach now for Warrandyte. But I think they can still take something away from today's performance for the rest of the season.
It's going to be 2 shots again for Lewis. Ten-point game, 10 seconds left. Lewis to the line. I think it's safe to say now that the game is probably done with in terms of who's winning, who's losing.
Script writers gave McKinnon a little bit of a scare during the second and fourth terms. But I think their class has shown in the second half more so than the first. That will be all she wrote.
Game over. McKinnon, 11-point victors over Warrandyte. Absolutely great game from Warrandyte to push McKinnon to this 11-point win. But at the end of the day, win's a win for McKinnon. They move on. They're 11-5 for the season. Massive push for finals incoming for them. We got firstly, Lytle, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Cooper had 17 points, 6 rebounds. Lewis as well, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. And for Warrandyte, Kewen, massive game, 23 points, 11 rebounds. Fian also had the 7 points, 14 rebounds. Bolins came on, 12 and 9 in 20 minutes. They had some good players today. They just couldn't get the job done, which is nothing against them and how they played.
They gave them a run for their money.
Absolutely, they did. And we've got a double header on today. We've got McKinnon Champ Men's taking on Blackburn at 2 o'clock. So we will be back in about 25 minutes' time.